Obviously, knowing that it was just one person quarterback room, I was excited about that to get along. Obviously, understanding that Coach Bieniemy was coming, Coach Rivera was here, a lot of the players, playmakers that were already on the team, and I was just excited for this opportunity.
What were you told as far as your role? I mean, are you going in believing that you're going to compete to start, or is it some other role?
Like I told somebody earlier, every day in this league is competition. We wouldn't be in this profession if we didn't compete every day. And that's what I was told. You come in and do your job, compete, and then whatever happens, happens. But the main thing is just to come in to be a good teammate. And that's what I think I've carried with me throughout my career. And then everything else kind of has always taken care of itself for me.
Jacoby, you mentioned about being a good teammate, and you have a young quarterback in that room and Sam Howell. How do you find that balance of maybe trying to be that mentor a little bit to Sam, but also compete and try to win the job?
Yeah, I think I think just being a good teammate will trump anything. And that's been the case no matter my role throughout my career. It's always started with being a good teammate. And the roles kind of unfold because I may need him. He may need me. You don't know how much he'll need me. I might not know how much I need him. But just finding ways to help each other get better for our own benefit, but also for our room, for our offense, and also for this team.
And when you look at this Washington offense, Jacoby, the pieces in place, Eric Bieniemy as OC, what excites you about this group?
It honestly the fresh start. Obviously a lot of the understanding the track record, a lot of these playmakers that are on the roster already, and being a fan of the NFL and seeing a lot of these guys go out there and make plays. Obviously playing against them last year and going through the process of scouting against these guys, knowing that a lot of these guys are playmakers, and obviously EB's track record and what he's been able to accomplish throughout his coaching career. I'm excited for this journey, and excited for this opportunity.
What was your last year like in Cleveland?
It was good. I have literally no bad thoughts or words for that organization, that team. The fans. They embraced me with open arms. Obviously, going into a unique situation. It was complete transparency throughout the whole process. I have a lot of respect and honestly love for a lot of those guys that. I'm glad that I was able to meet a lot of those guys because I know those relationships will last longer than football will. I have no bad or ill feelings towards them.
And how did you grow over those 11 starts?
I thought I got better each game, and thought I, matured not only at the position but as a man throughout the game. Throughout those games, and every week was a challenge, not only on the field but off the field with kind of handling the situation and being able to cut through it and be able to go out there and perform, not only on the field but also being a good teammate. And obviously the supporting cast, the guys around me, they played a tremendous part in that. I thought our quarterback room was really good and everybody was on the same page and making sure that we, knew what the task was at hand. And then obviously when Deshaun got back, I think it was a smooth transition. It wasn't like some big spectacle or anything like that. So I thought it went well.
Hey, Jacoby, when you talk about being a good teammate, was that something you came into the NFL with that mindset, or is that something you kind of grew into understanding?
It's definitely something I came into this league with, but it's everlasting change at that. Being able to evolve every year, new people, new players, new situations, obviously new teams. And I think early in my career, I just saw how vital some of the good teammates were, just my rookie year in the Tom Brady's, the Devin McCourty's, the Matthew Slater's, the Ron Harmon's, guys like that I seen how the impact that had with being good teammates for the not only their success but the team success, and just something that I've always tried to carry along with me.
Hey, Jacoby, you've been a starter in this league. You've come off the bench. what for you was your goal going into this offseason? There were a bunch of teams checking in with you. What was your goal for you going to this offseason?
One, to have a job. Two, to just find a good fit, find a good opportunity, and then then everything else, like I said, kind of just takes care of itself. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a new start, new opportunity to go and continue to grow as a man, as a player, as a teammate, and this felt like the right fit.
JACOBY, did you feel like last year was the best year of your career?
I mean, I thought I was, trending upward. Still think I'm trending upward, but definitely was moving in the right direction. Like I said, I was fortunate to play with a lot of good players on that team, and obviously good coaches, good staff, and those guys. And I think it's definitely helped, me out in my career journey, or however you say it. But definitely, fortunate for that stint in my career.
And what was kind of your market like this year? Did you hear from Washington right away? Did a lot of teams reach out to you? What was kind of the process like?
A couple teams reached out, and then obviously Washington reached out, and then the communication just picked up, and then kind of just went from there. And I kind of knew from the start a little bit.
Hey, JACOBY, when you say like if last year was the best year of your career, you're trending up and all that, even though you understand the situation, there was transparency, is it hard to then go from that to then having to watch those last few games?
The last few games were I would say tough to watch because I want to go out there and play. But I knew going into the situation what it was, and I've learned to understanding the situation makes going through the situation a lot, I guess, easier, I would say. So, obviously when my role changed, that doesn't change who I am as a man or as a player, as a teammate. I still have a job to do. I still have to go out there, compete. I still have to go out there, put my best foot forward, and be a good teammate. And I think I accomplished those things. But it was definitely tough to watch.
JACOBY, having been on different teams the last 3 seasons, I mean, what is sort of your process of getting acclimated, getting to know your teammates, the system, everything like that?
It has changed every year because it's been different teams, different cities, different organizations. But just going out there and just being myself, I think that has suited me well. Going out there and just being my genuine self, immersing myself into the team, to the offense that I'm learning, to the players, to the coaches, and then everything else just falls into place.
Hey, JACOBY, I know in the past you've negotiated your own contracts without an agent. Assuming if you did that this time as well, what's that process like as a player to be talking directly to these teams and trying to figure out the best situation?
You get a lot of phone calls that you gotta try to not ignore, but I've enjoyed it since the start, my rookie year, and getting to learn the process of what goes into negotiation and what each number means, each line of a contract means. So it's been a unique journey for me. Obviously, I did my contract this year, negotiating myself. But I mean, I hate to say myself because I also have a team. I have people that I lean on for advice and advisory, I guess is the right word, that I've been fortunate to have throughout my career. So it makes it, I would say easier, but I understand it a little bit more.
If I can just follow up on that, can I just follow up on that real quick? Because do you have maybe an extra perspective on Lamar Jackson, and are you surprised by all the pushback he's gotten for choosing to go that way?
I don't see anything wrong with representing yourself. Obviously, he's done a good job, with what he's doing and being in the position that he is to be fortunate enough to have the opportunity that he's created for himself. I wish him nothing but the best. We know a lot of the same similar people, but I'm sure he'll make the right decision for himself, and it'll play out for him.
Was it important for you to represent yourself, and is this something that you see yourself doing after playing?
Oh, hell no! I will not be doing this after I'm done. That's a no. But It's just taking that ownership of where I put myself, taking that accountability of the situation that I'm going into. I like to, look people in their eyes. I like to, have that connection, not only from, professional standpoint, well, like on the field standpoint, but off the field too, and being able to, walk off the field and say, hey, like, I've had tough conversations with this person. I know that this won't be the last time, kind of breaking that ice. It's been good for me, and I enjoy it every year, every time I get an opportunity to do that. And, and this year was no different than that.
Take two more.
Just from a practical standpoint, are you just answering kind of random numbers all the time, or like?
No, I never answer on the first call. I wait till they leave a voicemail or anything, and then that's when I'll reply. I've learned not to answer scam likely calls and stuff like that.
All right. I just didn't know because, like, it could be a team calling or whatever, but the voice.
Oh yeah, for sure. But once they like leave a voicemail, I'll call them right back.
Gotcha.
Got time for one more.
If it's been tough or you haven't necessarily always enjoyed negotiating, have you ever considered hiring an agent?
Never.
So
Yeah.
it's always been worth it.
It's always worth it. Saving money is always worth it.
Process and why you wanted to be here?
It's a young team. I've always heard good things about Coach Rivera, and I've always wanted to heard play for him, and he's a good coach or a good player coach. So I'm here now. So excited to get to work with these guys. It's a young team. So
What did they tell you about your role, and what are you expecting?
I think center is where I'm gonna be taking most of the reps. I assume, but center guard is where I play usually.
Did that matter to you to get back to center after playing guard most of last season?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I definitely felt more comfortable at center and feel like it's my natural position. So
Why do you feel more comfortable there?
I don't know. I just like being in control of everything, making calls, and kind of telling everybody what to do. It holds me accountable just because you got to know everything, and you got to make sure everybody's on the same page. So I just like being in charge. I don't know. It's something about that, just being in charge thing.
And then what was it like for you coming back from that injury? What was that journey like?
Yeah, no, that was a long journey. It was like 410 days from when I got hurt to back on the field. It's a lot of ups and downs. I try to stay as positive as possible the whole way through. Had some tough days. There's some points that I was going to retire, but I pushed through those days, and I'm here now. So it was a journey, though. If I had to describe it, it was a journey.
Is there a part of you that? What do you think about going to you suffered the injury in Washington. Now you're in Washington. What do you kind of make of that element?
Yeah, no, that doesn't even bother me. I haven't even thought of it like that. There was one guy, I think it was the first game back, that I kind of thought of it, and I was like, oh, this is a little weird. But other than that, that's kind of my mindset the whole way through. Like, it just is what it is. Like, it happened. There's nothing I could do about it. There's no point in being negative. Just keep moving forward. So it doesn't bother me. I'm not superstitious in many ways or anything. So like, it was a football field. It was a freak injury. It could have happened anywhere on the, any 32 stadiums in the NFL. I guess 30 stadiums in the NFL.
As a guy who battled against John Allen and Daron Payne, what does it mean to you to join a team with those two guys now intact?
Yeah, no, it'd be nice not having to play against those guys, twice a year. They're good players up front, and their whole D line is really good. So we had always had to prepare, and those games always marked on the calendar. They had good D linemen, so yeah, it's excited to be on the same team as them now.
What appealed to you most about Washington?
Say it again. Sorry.
What appealed to you most about Washington free agency?
They just it seems like they had a lot of good young talent. They have a lot of skilled players that are really good. Their defense line's always good. I don't know. It just that was the main things that stuck out to me. And they I feel like I could help a young quarterback out, and always be there to protect him, and let him know that nothing's gonna happen. So.
You mentioned the leadership element. You're named a captain pretty quickly in New York. What is it about you and your personality that kind of takes to that?
Yeah, that's just me all the time. I take no crap. I'm just there. Like, players know what they get when they see me on the field, and I think they feel comfortable when I'm on the field, so that helps. All right, anybody else? All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Cost me one time, that's gonna get you pop. Get you pop, get you drop. Slide on the one where they get you locked on. I ain't stopping till I get me an Audemars. Shots in his head, ring his bell like